My first experience mixing when it didn't go so well, someone dared me actually. Someone dared me to mix like a tune of Benga with like some rubbish tune that was like, I say tune, a song that was in the charts at the time, and it was like terrible. Like the key was all wrong and everything, and I didn't kind of clock about mixing in key at the time. It was kind of like, oh, they're the same BPM, so that will go. And then yeah, it just it was offensive to the ears. I'm surprised, you know, nobody's ears started bleeding that day. The more successful ones, I think the first time was actually at my first gig where I was working in the bar, and I kind of asked them one day if I could just go and DJ, like, you know, like, yeah, sure. So then we arranged it so it was like a ladies' night essentially, and it was like me, a good friend of ours, Dan, and another mate. And basically, it ended up being me and Dan going back to back for 6 hours, and yeah, I was like, oh, this is cool. And yeah, just playing like hip hop and breaks and stuff, and funk on a controller, and yeah, that was like first proper gig. Yeah, that was it. For me, going down the turntablism route was just about wanting to be more expressive. Normally, my brain is like, bah! And just like running around a million miles an hour. And although I kind of learnt the basics on a controller and was happy with that for a number of years, I felt very confined to the space of the controller and just pressing buttons. And it got to a point where I wasn't enjoying it as much as I wanted to. I was around a lot of people that could scratch, and so kind of watching them, you know, interact with vinyl and Serato and Tractor and stuff, and it was like, oh, okay. And yeah, at the time as well, I was studying in uni, and it was kind of like, here's the history of turntablism, like before Grandmaster Flash, before the iterations of hip hop and stuff. There's more experimental sides too, so it was kind of like, oh, interesting. And yeah, I just wanted to be more like freer in my kind of expression when it comes to playing music, like visibly as well as through the music. So the people that really kind of inspired me, there are some who also produce that also inspired me as a producer too. So it's like, oh, there's synergy there. But for primarily like for scratch purposes, the people that inspired me are people like John First, Jazzy Jeff, Shiva Fashreki, Cut Chemist. DJ Shadow's a big one as well, but I'd say like he's more on the production side, and it continues to grow too because there's influences from other people as well that come through. But yeah, I'd say Shiva, John, Grandmaster Flash, and Jazzy Jeff. I think younger me would be like stunned, just like, what? This is like your job now? That's mad. The technology's definitely evolved kind of quicker than I thought, which is cool, because I mean, I was still kind of developing my craft around the time when things were picking up anyway, so it was quite like an interesting trajectory to see. But yeah, younger me would be a bit like, wait, so this, you just plug the mixer in, just plug that into there, and then it just does the thing. For my younger self, I'd say that like the way that I scratch will be different and is different to anyone else who decides to come and use this equipment, and that's fine. There's no need to compare yourself. Yeah, that whole like imposter syndrome thing, like if you can circumvent that and just continue to express yourself using this equipment, like just go for it. You never know where it can take you.